Howdy, fellow YouTubers. My name is BobStraitFTW, and today, let's talk about some Battlefield. So, as many of you may know, Battlefield was recently updated on PS4 and Xbox One, and they pretty much had the same update. And in this update is the supposed netcode fix that we've all been asking for since launch. And holy Hello Kitty, my friends, it works. DICE has finally decided to stop hitting Battlefield with a bat and decided to give it a cookie. And now it just feels amazing. I can't tell you how unfrustrating this game is now. Now, I think the reason that this wasn't in the game in the first place is because they wanted to make the game as accessible as possible, because with this update, you have to have at least a 1 megabyte up and 1 megabyte down. You may not have to have that, but that's what DICE says it needs to be for it to work as well as they would like it to. You may not have noticed a difference in the past couple days, and that's probably because you haven't turned it on yet. You actually have to go into Battlefield and turn this feature on. But do note that if you do not have that 1 up, 1 down connection that you would need for this update, it may not work properly. But they do have an off, a low, a medium, and a high setting, so if you have a variable upload and download speed that's probably under 1, you know, you can work with Battlefield in a way to fit your connection. If you go to your options and then go to the gameplay tab, it's at the very bottom. It's the high frequency network update, and you set that to high and you're all set. You now have 30 hertz, which is a huge change from what it was, because it was 10 hertz. So it's now updating 3 times as faster. That's 3 times the information, and you could run into some serious problems, and I hope that there aren't any serious problems in the upcoming months. One of the most noticeable things, in my opinion, about this netcode patch would have to be the fact that your bullets register much faster than they were. Usually, you'd have to wait maybe even sometimes a second for your bullets to register, and now it is just instant. And in this video, I'm using the CZ3A1, and I was just getting hit markers like crazy. It just felt so much more snappy. So instead of going on for another 30 minutes about the netcode and everything, let's talk about some of the other stuff that they fixed in this update that I haven't heard anyone else talk about. The altitude glitch has finally been fixed. I cannot believe that this has been fixed, because it's been like 3 or 4 months, and people abuse the hell out of it. And on some maps, you couldn't use the gunship, and 2, you couldn't take out the gunship. It was some ridiculous BS that was going on in Battlefield, and it's finally been fixed. Get it, BS, BobStraitFTW. Now, one of the biggest things that the PS4 community has been asking for is the ability to use the R1 and L1 for shooting and aiming. Well, guess what? They added that to the game too. You can actually go to your options, go down, and change that. Do note that this does change those buttons for vehicles, and I've played with some vehicles, and it does feel really awkward. This is so important to PlayStation 4 players, because back on the PS3, R2 and L2 were not used to shoot. It was R1 and L1, a button. Buttons should be used for shooting your gun and not the triggers. You can push a button a lot faster than you can pull a trigger, and on the PS3, no one dare to change our shooting buttons from the top row to the bottom row, because we were set in our ways, and don't you dare screw with a PlayStation 3 player's muscle memory. But when the PS4 came out 7 months ago, we all had to learn how to use R2 and L2 to shoot, and now they're giving us the option to go back. Of course we're gonna go back, but now we have to learn new muscle memory. Thanks! Along with having to learn new muscle memory, since the game is updating faster, I have found that you have to be a lot more accurate. I used to play at 100 sensitivity. I've had to back it down to 80 to get my KD within a place where I feel comfortable. It's not the end of the world. It just means that the game is that much more realistic and that much more tactical. I felt that the game, you know, it was always like you roll the dice and whoever got the best side of the netcode stuff won, and it doesn't feel like that anymore, and I'm really enjoying this game right now, and I hope that Battlefield can actually recoup from the horribleness that it was at the beginning of launch, and everyone starts to realize, oh my gosh, it's a great game now. Well, I'm not going to keep you, because I bet you have better things to do than listen to me talk about the netcode. So, if you made it to this part of the video, please put the word "finally" in your comment, in the comment section below, so that I know that you watched the video all the way to the end and are the best viewer and or subscriber ever. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe. It really helped me and my channel out. That is all. Episode 40, and in today's episode, Brian Gabrielle would like me to use the M16A4 reflex sight, laser, and